Chosen ones. Before you move any further into this message, allow yourself to breathe in the weight of what is about to unfold. There are moments in life when the universe quietly shifts its axis, when the unseen rearranges itself, and when a single revelation becomes powerful enough to redirect the entire course of a destiny. This is one of those moments. Not tomorrow, not later, not when you feel ready. The shift begins the moment your eyes land on these words. And if you turn away, even for a breath, you may never reclaim the chance that is opening for you right now. You must understand this with the deepest clarity your soul can hold. The universe does not reveal a message like this to everyone. It reveals it only to those whose spirits have endured, whose hearts have survived storms no one else ever knew about, and whose inner fire refuses to die even when darkness tries to swallow it whole. That is why you are here. That is why this message found you. This is not coincidence. This is not an accident. This is the universe placing a key in your hands. And because this message carries a frequency that calls directly to the chosen ones, I must remind you with unwavering urgency, do not skip a second of this. Do not scroll away. Do not step back. And do not look away. If you do, you will regret it in ways that echo across your future. The opportunity woven within these words is not the kind that passes twice. It is not the kind that comes back when ignored. If you close this message, the universe will assume you are not ready for what is meant to rise inside you. Before we go deeper, make sure you anchor your presence here. Chosen ones, hit like, subscribe, activate the notification bell, and comment 77 as your signal to the universe. When you type that sacred number, you are not simply commenting. You are declaring to creation itself that your spirit is prepared to receive every fragment of this revelation. It is your confirmation, your alignment, your silent contract with the energies that are awakening around you. Now listen, truly listen. There are unseen currents moving behind your life. Currents that have been underestimated, dismissed, mocked, even laughed at by those who failed to recognize the depth of your journey. They saw your struggle, but not your strength. They saw your setbacks, but not your preparation. They saw your silence, but not your power. And they believed your life would stay exactly as it was. But everything is changing. Not slowly, not gently, not softly. The atmosphere around you is shifting in ways that cannot be reversed. The path beneath your feet is beginning to glow with direction. The universe is aligning circumstances that were impossible just moments ago. And those who once laughed, doubted, or dismissed your existence will soon witness a transformation they never saw coming. This is why you cannot miss a single word of what follows. This is why you must not look away. If you leave, even for a breath, you will lose the full transmission your soul has been waiting for. The message ahead is layered, coded, and charged with the power to alter your understanding of who you are and what is rising for you. Chosen ones, prepare yourself. Anchor yourself. Let every part of you be here, fully, completely, without hesitation. Because once this unfolds, there is no going back. Section 1. When they laughed, they never saw what was coming. Chosen ones, there is a moment in every great destiny when the world misunderstands the quiet strength growing inside a person. It often happens during the most fragile parts of your journey, when your hands are still trembling from the battles you fought alone, when your dreams feel too heavy to carry, and when your future appears distant and uncertain. And in those vulnerable chapters, there are always people who laugh. They laugh because they think they know the ending of a story that has barely begun. They laugh because they mistake your silence for defeat, your humility for weakness, and your stillness for the absence of movement. They laugh because they cannot see the unseen forces preparing to shift everything in your favor. But here is the truth the universe hides in plain sight. The laughter of others has never been powerful enough to stop a destiny that was written long before they formed an opinion about you. Their laughter is temporary, but your purpose is eternal. Their doubts are loud, but your calling is louder. What they mock today will be the very thing they cannot explain tomorrow. Chosen ones, you must understand something deeply. Those moments when you were overlooked, underestimated, ignored, or ridiculed were not signs that you were on the wrong path. They were confirmations that you were on a path no one else could comprehend. You were walking through a corridor of transformation that only your soul was prepared to navigate. And because the process was sacred, the universe did not reveal your progress to anyone. Not even to you. All you saw were the shadows of your own effort, the exhaustion of your own sacrifice, and the silence of your own waiting. But behind that silence, something extraordinary was unfolding. The universe was rearranging the timeline of your life. It was closing doors that would have destroyed you, and opening doors you were not yet ready to see. It was preparing people who would someday enter your life with purpose, loyalty, and alignment. It was removing people whose presence would have poisoned your evolution. It was constructing opportunities that required a stronger, wiser, more awakened version of you. And it was shaping that version through the very struggles others laughed at. There is a kind of power that only grows in the dark, when no one is applauding, when no one is validating, when no one is watching. It is a power born from endurance, from survival, from rising again after being broken. And you, chosen one, have cultivated that power without even realizing it. Every tear you held back, every night you whispered your fears into the quiet, every moment you forced yourself to keep going when everything inside you wanted to give up. These were not signs of weakness. They were rituals of becoming. They were the refining fire that shaped you into someone unshakable. And the people who laughed, they never saw the fire. They only saw the ashes and assumed you were finished. They never saw the rebuilding. They never saw the healing. They never saw the strength forming layer by layer inside your spirit. They interpreted your silence as surrender, not knowing it was preparation. They misread your calm because they could not sense the storm of transformation the universe had placed around you. But chosen ones, the universe has a way of reversing the narrative so completely that even those who doubted you begin to question their own certainty. The time will come, sooner than you think, when the laughter fades into confusion, and confusion turns into realization. The same people who dismissed you will stand in stunned disbelief as life begins to shift dramatically in your favor. They will watch opportunities arrive that they never thought you would touch. They will see doors open that they believed were forever closed to you. They will witness a strength in you that they never imagined you possessed. And in that moment, the universe will make it clear. You were never the person they laughed at. You were the person they should have never underestimated. Their laughter was never a curse. It was fuel. It was the spark that lit the fire inside you. It was the mirror that revealed what they could not see. You're rising. Chosen ones, hold this truth close to your heart. The laughter they used to diminish you will one day become the silence that confirms your victory. Their disbelief will transform into awe, and the very moments that once made you question your worth will become the chapters you look back on with gratitude, because without them, you would not have become who you are now. This is the beginning of the reversal. This is where the shift begins. This is where the story they thought they understood breaks open into a destiny they never saw coming. Section 2. The shift they never saw. The turning point they could not stop. Chosen ones. There is a sacred moment in every destiny when the universe quietly places a turning point beneath your feet. It is not loud. It is not dramatic. It is not something the world recognizes instantly. Instead, it appears like a subtle whisper in the fabric of your life. A soft shift that begins in the unseen before it erupts into the physical world. And while others continue laughing, doubting, or ignoring your existence, the timeline of your life is already bending toward a future they never imagined for you. This turning point often takes shape when you feel the least powerful. It arrives in chapters of exhaustion, when your strength feels thin and your hope feels fragile. But that is precisely why the universe chooses that moment, because only someone who has tasted difficulty can truly appreciate the magnitude of rising. And the universe knows that you, chosen one, were meant to rise in a way that shakes the air around you. What they never understood is that your setbacks were not your stopping points. They were thresholds. They were gateways to transformation. Every disappointment, every loss, every moment in which you questioned your own worth was actually a recalibration, a repositioning of your spirit toward a greater alignment. While they were convinced you were sinking, the universe was preparing to lift you in a way that would silence every doubt spoken against you. And here is the irony woven into your story. The more they underestimated you, the more the universe invested in your growth. The more they overlooked you, the more the universe amplified what was developing within you. They never realized that the turning point was forming in the shadows they could not see, crafted by forces they could not comprehend. They only saw the surface. They saw your tiredness, not your resilience. They saw your struggles, not your transformation. They saw your wounds, not your wisdom. But chosen ones, the universe sees everything. It sees your nights of endurance, your unspoken victories, your hidden courage. It sees the battles you fought without witnesses, the decisions you made in silence, the strength you built when no one was cheering for you. And it honors every moment. Nothing you have endured has been wasted. Nothing you've carried has been ignored. Every tear, every sacrifice, every silent step forward has been recorded in the deepest layers of your destiny. This is why the turning point was inevitable. You did not stumble into it accidentally. You earned it. You crafted it through your perseverance. You formed it through your inner discipline. You shaped it through faith in something greater than circumstances. The universe is not granting you a gift. It is delivering the result of your own becoming. And the people who laughed, they did not see this moment coming because they were never meant to. If they had known what was forming inside you, they might have tried to stop it. They might have tried to hinder you, distract you, or claim a place in a story that was never theirs. So the universe concealed your evolution until the right time. It hid your transformation beneath layers of difficulty, making your progress invisible to everyone except the forces guiding you. Then, slowly but inevitably, the atmosphere around you began to shift. Opportunities that once seemed distant started to draw closer. Paths that were blocked began to open in ways that defied logic. The energy surrounding your life started to intensify. You may have felt it as a pull, a stirring, a change in the rhythm of your days. Even if you could not explain it, something within you whispered that a new phase was unfolding. Meanwhile, those who once doubted you started to sense something different. They couldn't name it, but they could feel it. Your presence began to carry a new weight, a new clarity, a new strength. The energy around you no longer matched the version of you they were familiar with. And that shift, subtle at first, began unsettling the very people who once laughed confidently at your struggles. Because now their certainty is cracking. Now their confidence is trembling. Now they realize that something they dismissed is becoming something undeniable. Chosen ones, this is what a turning point truly is. It is the moment when the universe begins revealing what it had been preparing in secret. It is the moment when the unseen becomes visible, when the ignored becomes undeniable, and when the underestimated becomes unstoppable. It is the moment when life begins to correct the narrative others falsely wrote about you. And once this shift begins, nothing, not their laughter, not their doubt, not their assumptions, can stop what is rising for you. Section 3. The quiet rise that no one recognized until it was too late. Chosen ones, there is a kind of transformation that does not roar, does not announce itself, and does not seek the approval of the world. It grows in silence, protected by the very darkness others assumed would destroy you. It rises quietly, like a dawn no one bothered to notice until the light was already too bright to deny. And that is exactly how your evolution began. Slow, hidden, deliberate. Not because you were weak, but because the universe needed to shape you away from the eyes of those who could not understand your becoming. People often expect greatness to arrive loudly. They imagine it breaking through barriers with thunder, sweeping across life with force, but true transformation rarely enters that way. True transformation is crafted in whispers, in the subtle moments when you choose resilience over surrender, courage over fear, and growth over bitterness. It is woven through the nights when your heart was exhausted but you still stood back up. It is built through decisions you made when no one was watching, when no one cared, when no one believed your steps mattered. That is why those who laughed at you never realized what was taking form. They were too distracted by the version of you they created in their own minds. They could not see the depth in your pain, the wisdom in your silence, or the strength in your endurance. They mistook your stillness for stagnation, unaware that stillness is often the birthplace of breakthrough. They looked at your quiet and assumed nothing was happening, not knowing the universe was planting roots deeper than any surface victory they could ever comprehend. Chosen ones, the universe develops its strongest warriors in hidden places, not because you are meant to be invisible, but because the early stages of your growth require protection, refinement, and sacred privacy. If the world had seen what was forming within you, it would have tried to interrupt it. If those who doubted you had sensed the power rising inside you, they would have tried to limit it. So the universe kept your evolution concealed, allowing you to rise through layers of inner strength until the transformation became impossible to stop. And then something remarkable began to happen, something they never anticipated. Your presence started to shift. Your energy began to expand. Your voice carried a new steadiness. Your decisions became more aligned, more certain, more powerful. Without announcing anything, without proving anything, without seeking validation from anyone, you began to stand differently. You began to speak differently. You began to exist differently. It was as if an inner light started to seep through the cracks of your old identity, revealing glimpses of the person you were always meant to become. But here is the irony, the part of the story they never saw coming. The same people who once laughed now felt unsettled by the change. They could not explain it, but they knew something was shifting around you. Your silence no longer looked like defeat, it looked like preparation. Your humility no longer looked like weakness, it looked like depth. Your distance no longer looked like isolation, it looked like protection. They sensed a power in you they could not name, and that realization marked the beginning of their discomfort. Because now, the transformation they ignored is becoming impossible to ignore. Now, the strength they dismissed is rising where they can all see it. Now, The destiny they doubted is unfolding right in front of them. Chosen ones, understand this deeply. The universe did not need to make your rise loud for it to be undeniable. It did not need to make your victory dramatic for it to be powerful. The quiet rise is often the most unshakable rise because it is built on foundations no one can destroy. It comes from an inner stability that life itself forged within you, a strength that does not depend on approval, attention, or recognition. This is why your transformation feels different from anything you've experienced before. It is not fueled by ego, but by alignment. It is not driven by revenge, but by purpose. It is not born from the need to prove others wrong, but from the realization that their opinions were never part of your destiny in the first place. And as this quiet rise becomes visible, the world around you begins to shift. People who once doubted you grow silent. People who once dismissed you feel uncertain. People who once laughed now watch with unease because they understand, too late, that something extraordinary has been unfolding in the depths they never cared to look into. Chosen ones, this is the beauty of a quiet rise. It turns disbelief into awe, doubt into confusion, and laughter into stunned silence. It reveals the truth that your power was never meant to be understood early. It was meant to be revealed only when it could no longer be stopped. And now, that moment is beginning. The rise they never believed in is awakening before their eyes. Section 4. When they finally see what you became, and reality rewrites their perception. Chosen ones, there comes a moment in every divine unfolding when the world begins to have a sense that something in you has shifted beyond return. It does not begin with applause, nor does it begin with recognition. It begins with an uneasiness in the hearts of those who once doubted you, a subtle awareness, a quiet recognition, a silent question they cannot put into words. They look at you and feel something different, something steadier, richer, deeper. Something they never expected to witness in the person they once laughed at. This moment is not loud, but it is powerful. It is the moment when the energy around you becomes undeniable. When your presence speaks louder than your past. When your resilience becomes more visible than your wounds. When your strength begins to demand respect without ever needing to ask for it. And those who once mocked you begin to experience a strange mixture of confusion and regret, because the version of you they created in their minds no longer matches the reality standing in front of them. Chosen ones, this is where everything begins to shift in your favor. People who once dismissed you now observe you more closely, trying to understand what changed. They notice the way you speak with more clarity, the way you move with more confidence, the way you make choices with a sense of alignment that can only come from someone who has walked through fire and survived. They see a calmness in you that unsettles them, because calmness is the mark of someone who has found their power. They begin to realize something they never considered before, that your struggles were not signs of your limitations, but signs of your preparation, that your silence was not emptiness but depth, that your distance was not avoidance but protection, that your endurance was not a sign of weakness, but a sign of unimaginable inner strength. And when this realization settles into them, their laughter fades, not because you demanded it, but because life itself demanded it. Chosen ones, the universe knows exactly how to shift the atmosphere around your life. It knows how to remove mockery from your path and replace it with respect. It knows how to silence those who doubted you without requiring you to say a single word. It knows how to illuminate your growth so powerfully that even those who once celebrated your difficulties must now face the truth. You are not who you used to be. You have outgrown every limitation they tried to place upon you. This shift often leaves them stunned. They replay the past in their minds, searching for the moment they overlooked your potential. They question how they failed to see the fire in you, the strength in you, the brilliance quietly being shaped within your spirit. And the more they reflect, the more they understand that they were never laughing at your weakness. They were laughing at their own inability to see your destiny. Their confusion deepens when they realize you are no longer affected by their opinions. Your spirit no longer bends to their expectations. Your heart is no longer tied to their approval. You walk with a grace that does not seek validation, because your validation comes from alignment with the universe, not from the temporary opinions of people who misunderstood your journey. Chosen ones, this is the stage where your transformation becomes undeniable. You radiate a kind of strength that cannot be imitated, a kind of wisdom that cannot be taught, and a kind of presence that cannot be ignored. Even those who never believed in you feel it. Even those who tried to diminish you sense it. Even those who once celebrated your struggles now fear the depth of your resilience. Because now they see what they were blind to before. Now they understand that you were never the fragile soul they imagined. Now they realize that your quiet was not emptiness, it was awakening. And now they face the truth they tried to avoid. The person they laughed at has become someone their laughter can no longer touch. Chosen ones, the universe orchestrates these moments with precision. It allows the world to see the new version of you. Only after you have fully stepped into your strength, it reveals your transformation. Only when it is powerful enough to silence every past judgment. And when this revelation arrives, it becomes a turning point not only for you, but for everyone who ever doubted your path. This is the beauty of divine timing. It does not seek revenge. It seeks alignment. It does not return mockery with anger. It returns mockery with transformation. It does not demand that others respect you. It simply makes you someone they can no longer ignore. And from this moment forward, everything in their perception shifts. Because everything within you has already shifted. Section 5. When reality speaks louder than their doubt, and your becoming can no longer be denied. Chosen ones, there is a point in every journey when life itself steps forward and becomes the undeniable proof of everything you silently fought for. Words no longer matter. Opinions lose their weight. Judgments evaporate. Because reality, your reality, begins to speak louder than anything anyone ever said about you. And when this moment arrives, even those who once laughed at your struggle must confront the truth of who you have become. For so long, they believed they understood your story. They believed your hardships defined your limits. They believed your challenges marked your ending. But reality has a way of correcting false beliefs. It has a way of unfolding in ways that humble those who thought they knew the outcome. And in your story, chosen one, reality is beginning to rise with a force that can no longer be ignored. This shift does not happen suddenly, even if it appears that way from the outside. It is the visible result of the fuel spent building strength in silence, of nights spent learning resilience, of mornings spent choosing hope, even when your heart felt heavy. It is the outcome of every unseen decision you made to continue moving forward, when everything around you suggested you should stop. Those moments, invisible to the world, have now begun shaping a future that shines with the brilliance of your endurance. And now, the world begins to see what the universe saw in you all along. They see the clarity in your eyes that was not there before. They see the stability in your spirit that withstands storms. They see the confidence in your steps that comes from surviving what was meant to break you. They see the wisdom in your choices, the calm in your energy, the certainty in your voice. It is in these undeniable shifts that their laughter collapses. Not because you silenced them, but because life itself revealed the truth they refused to believe. That you were destined for more than their assumptions, more than their limits, more than their narrow understanding of who you could become. Chosen ones, the universe is meticulous in its timing. It allows your breakthroughs to manifest only when you have become strong enough to carry them without losing yourself. It allows your blessings to appear only when you are aligned enough to protect them. And it allows your transformation to become visible only when it is too powerful for anyone to distort, diminish, or take credit for. This is why your reality is changing so drastically. It is why the atmosphere around you feels different. It is why you sense a rising momentum that you cannot fully explain. Life is responding to the work you've done in silence. Life is honoring the strength you built in the unseen. Life is aligning itself with the version of you that never gave up, even when the world gave up on you. And those who once doubted you, they are now witnessing something undeniable. They see opportunities gravitating toward you. They see doors opening that were once sealed shut. They see people treating you with a respect they never offered before. They see blessings flowing toward you as if the universe has been waiting for this moment. This dramatic shift unsettles them because it forces them to confront their own misjudgment. They must now admit that they were wrong about you. They must face the reality that their laughter was misplaced. They must acknowledge, even if silently, that the person they underestimated is rising in ways they cannot comprehend. But the most powerful part of this transformation is not their realization, it is yours. You begin to understand that their doubt never had the power to define you. You begin to understand that their laughter never had the strength to derail you. You begin to understand that your journey was always guided by something greater than their limited vision. This understanding becomes the foundation of your new life. And as reality continues to shift in your favor, you will no longer feel the need to prove yourself. Your existence becomes the evidence. Your growth becomes the testimony. Your transformation becomes the answer to every question, every doubt, every judgment ever spoken about you. Chosen ones, this is the phase of your ascension when the world catches up to what the universe already knew. It is the moment when your truth rises, when your path opens, when your destiny becomes visible. And nothing, neither their doubt nor their laughter, can stop what is unfolding in you. Reality is speaking, and it is speaking in your favor. Section 6. The universe never hurried you. It was preparing you for a rise they could not interfere with. Chosen ones, there is a sacred truth that few understand until their journey reaches its turning point. The universe is never in a rush, yet it is never late. It moves with a rhythm that cannot be forced, a timing that cannot be altered, and a wisdom that cannot be questioned. The delays you faced were not denials. The pauses you endured were not punishments. Every slow moment, every quiet season, every stretch of waiting was a deliberate preparation for a rise, so powerful that no person, no circumstance, no doubt could interfere with it. You may have wondered why your blessings took so long to reach you, why opportunities slipped past you, why your breakthroughs felt distant, why your growth felt invisible. But the universe saw something you could not, that if your rise came too early, the wrong people would have tried to claim it, control it, interrupt it, or destroy it. And so the universe shielded your transformation in silence until you were unshakable enough to protect what was meant for you. Chosen ones, this is why the early chapters of your journey felt heavy. This is why your progress seemed hidden. This is why you often felt alone in rooms filled with people. This is why your spirit carried exhaustion that words could not explain. You were not failing. You were being refined. Your heart was being strengthened. Your vision was being sharpened. Your resilience was being carved into your soul. Your intuition was being elevated to a level that false connections could no longer enter. And the universe knew that once this inner foundation was complete, nothing could stop your rise. Not their laughter, not their judgment, not their underestimation, not even your own moments of doubt. This is why the pace of your journey was slow. Because you were being built for longevity, not applause. For depth, not surface validation. For purpose, not popularity. You were being prepared to withstand heights that would crumble people who rise too quickly without inner strength to support them. And now, because of all you endured, you are stepping into a phase of life where your blessings will no longer slip away. A phase where opportunities will no longer collapse before they manifest. A phase where doors once sealed shut will open simply because your spirit has finally reached the frequency required to walk through them. This shift is not accidental, it is earned. And as this shift unfolds, the people who once doubted you will begin to understand something they never realized. Your rise is not a reaction to their laughter. It is not an attempt to prove anything to them. It is the natural consequence of a soul that refused to break, no matter how many storms it walked through. Their laughter fades because the universe has already rewritten your path. Their assumptions crumble because your transformation has already outgrown their limited expectations. Their judgments dissolve because your destiny no longer exists at the level of their understanding. Chosen ones, the universe does not rush what it is building with intention. It does not reveal what it is sculpting before the masterpiece is ready. And you, your strength, your depth, your wisdom, your resilience, are the masterpiece that required time, struggle, silence, and perseverance to complete. Now the atmosphere around you is shifting because the universe has judged you ready. Ready to receive, ready to ascend, ready to become the version of yourself that your past pain prepared you for. The people who laughed at you will soon no longer recognize, not because you changed suddenly, but because you changed deeply. Not because you tried to impress them, but because you aligned with something greater. Not because you fought for attention, but because you grew into someone impossible to overlook. Understand this with every fiber of your being. The universe never forgot you, never ignored you, never abandoned you. It was protecting you from premature victories, shallow recognition, false alliances, and paths that would have weakened your destiny. And now that your spirit is prepared, the rise that once felt delayed will unfold with a force they never saw coming. They laughed when they thought nothing was happening. But everything was happening. Inside you, for you, because of you. This is the part of your story where the universe steps forward and reveals what it was shaping in silence all along. Section 7. When their laughter dies and your true power finally stands in full light. Chosen ones, there comes a defining moment in every awakened destiny when the echoes of past ridicule fall silent. Not because you silenced them, but because life itself has risen to speak on your behalf. It is a moment when everything they once mocked becomes the very thing they now struggle to comprehend. A moment when the universe reveals why it allowed their laughter, their doubt, their arrogance, and their misunderstanding, because all of it was preparing the contrast needed to magnify your rise. This moment, your moment, is not born from revenge, but from revelation. It is not fueled by bitterness, but by becoming. It does not exist to humiliate others, but to illuminate the truth that was always within you. And when this moment arrives, the atmosphere around your life shifts in a way that cannot be reversed. Those who once laughed now watch you with a quiet disbelief. Their questions grow louder than their jokes. Their confusion becomes deeper than their certainty. They look at you and see someone they cannot fully recognize, not because you pretended to change, but because you transformed in ways they never expected. Chosen ones, this is what divine elevation looks like. It is not loud, yet it is unmissable. It is not dramatic, yet it is undeniable. It is not rushed, yet it is unstoppable. You begin to walk differently, not out of pride, but out of grounding. You begin to speak differently, not to impress, but because wisdom has softened your voice. You begin to move differently, not seeking attention, but guided by alignment. And those who doubted you feel that shift like a tremor in the air. They sense the power you now carry, the calm you embody, the clarity that surrounds you. They begin to understand that they were never laughing at your weakness. They were laughing at their own inability to see what the universe was constructing in the shadows. Their laughter dies here, not with noise but with realization, not with confrontation but with humility, not with resistance but with surrender to the truth unfolding before them. They see that the universe has placed a protection over your life that they cannot penetrate. They see that your path is widening in ways they cannot comprehend. They see that every attempt to doubt you only highlighted the divine intention behind your journey. But the greatest transformation is not in how they see you, it is in how you now see yourself. You finally recognize the strength you carried through years of struggle. You finally feel the depth your heart developed through seasons of silence. You finally understand the purpose behind every closed door, every delayed blessing, every lonely night spent wondering if your breakthrough would ever arrive. Chosen ones, you stand now not as the person who is underestimated, but as the person who outgrew every limitation placed upon them. You stand not as the wounded soul they once mocked, but as the awakened soul who discovered their own power. You stand not as the fragile version of yourself the world believed in, but as the unstoppable version the universe always knew you would become. This is the part of your journey where everything aligns. Your voice aligns with truth. Your presence aligns with purpose. Your spirit aligns with destiny. Your future aligns with the person you have become. And in this alignment, something extraordinary happens. You no longer need validation. You no longer need approval. You no longer need the world to understand you, because your life has shifted into a realm where external opinions have no influence over your internal evolution. This is victory without noise. This is triumph without boasting. This is elevation without ego. And it is in this quiet, powerful space that your destiny becomes undeniable. Those who laughed now learn a lesson they were not prepared for, that mocking someone walking through their becoming is one of the greatest misjudgments a person can make, because they never know who stands on the other side of that becoming. Chosen ones, the laughter is gone. The doubt is irrelevant. The past has no hold. You are rising into a life shaped by strength, guided by alignment, and protected by the unseen hand that carried you through every trial. This is your emergence. This is your inevitability. This is the moment when the universe says, with absolute clarity, they laughed then, they are silent now, because your destiny has arrived. Closing, the moment their laughter fades, and your destiny finally speaks for you. Chosen ones, as we reach the closing of this message, let these final words settle deeply into your spirit, because they carry the truth of your entire journey. Everything you have endured, every moment you were doubted, every wound that pushed you forward, every silence that shaped your strength, none of it was meaningless. The universe has been weaving your story with a precision so profound that even the moments you thought were failures were actually foundations. Even the moments you thought were endings were actually recalibrations. Even the moments you thought were setbacks were actually the preparation required for the life rising before you now. There comes a time when your destiny speaks louder than any doubt spoken against you. There comes a time when your story rises beyond the reach of anyone's assumptions. There comes a time when your existence becomes the proof of a power greater than your pain. And that time for you, chosen one, is unfolding now. The people who once laughed at your struggle will not laugh forever. Laughter fueled by ignorance cannot survive the weight of truth. When the universe lifts someone, no human opinion can hold them down. When a destiny is activated, no external force can derail it. And when a chosen soul finally steps into their rightful path, the world changes its posture. The atmosphere shifts. The energy reorganizes. Reality begins to align itself in ways that silence every voice that once tried to belittle your journey. Their laughter fades not because you seek revenge, but because your transformation becomes too undeniable to mock. Their doubt dissolves not because you argue your worth, but because your life begins to display it effortlessly. Their assumptions crumble, not because you confront them, but because the universe reveals a truth they can no longer ignore, that you are never powerless, never directionless, never broken. You are becoming. Chosen ones, the pain you endured taught you resilience that cannot be shaken. The loneliness you carried taught you discernment that cannot be corrupted. The failures you faced taught you wisdom that cannot be taken. The doubt you survived taught you strength that cannot be matched. You are no longer the person they underestimated. You are no longer the fragile soul they believed you were. You are no longer the version of yourself that struggled to be seen or understood. You have become someone formed by endurance, shaped by silence, and awakened by purpose. Your rise is not an accident. It is the result of a destiny that refused to let you break. Now, as your life begins to shift in ways that even you did not expect, trust what you are feeling, trust the momentum, trust the inner pull, trust the signs being placed in your path. You are stepping into a chapter that demands your full presence, your full strength, your full belief in what you are capable of becoming. Understand this deeply. The world will adjust to your new reality because it has no choice. People will shift their tone because they misread their own assumptions. Energy will align around you because you have aligned within yourself. And the same ones who once laughed will be forced into silence by the magnitude of who you are becoming. Chosen ones, this closing is not a farewell. It is a beginning, a doorway, a threshold between who you were and who you were always meant to be. Your rise has already begun. The shift is already in motion. The atmosphere around your life is already changing. Walk forward with the unshakable knowing that your destiny has awakened. Walk forward, understanding that nothing can stop what has been set in motion. Walk forward, recognizing that the universe does not choose lightly, and it chose you. The laughter is over. The doubt is fading. The transformation is undeniable. This is your moment, chosen one. Step into it with the certainty of someone finally becoming who they were always meant to be.